It is 7:30 now on our Thursday morning. New COVID-19 cases are spiking worldwide, and now it's impacting local hospitals. This morning, how hospitals plan to handle the growing numbers.
And the hot housing market in Spokane County is setting new records in 2020. Sales prices for Spokane County homes have increased by 20% in just a year.
The showdown of all showdowns in terms of politics and what it means.
The race for control of the Senate is on. We'll show you how each party could get the power.
And it's a beautiful start to the day. Cold, but beautiful. And that's all before our next snowstorm arrives.
Up with KREM begins now.
Thanks so much for being with us here on Up with KREM as we kick off our Thursday morning. A group of lawmakers across the country want to change the Electoral College. They want the popular vote to pull more weight, so we want to know what you think of the Electoral College. Do you want to change it? You can text us your thoughts at 509-448-2000.
I gotta say, Jen, my favorite part of this story is seeing all of the responses that we've gotten coming in through the text line. You out there have so many great and unique ideas. I think we all just want to see a system that works the best for all of us, right, Tim?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's really interesting is that there's both extremes on this debate. We're seeing a lot of people saying that you let the popular vote decide, but then other people saying that, the Electoral College is put in place for a reason. Otherwise, more states would actually get more of a say because they're more densely populated. So it kind of goes to show that people are very split on this issue. It would take a lot to change it.
Yeah, and if you really break down what your vote means per state, per size, per person, it's one of the most interesting things that you can possibly look at, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, and of course, we're seeing a lot of responses this morning, so keep those coming. We want to hear from you at home. Tim will be getting into some of those answers here later on in the program, though in the meantime, we are gearing up for a big storm on the way, Jeremy, but right now remains to be seen if we're going to see rain or maybe snow.
Yeah, and it's all up in the air. We do know we're going to get a little bit of both, so let's go ahead and break it down for you back at home. We've got a mostly cloudy start to the day, no doubt about that, and temperatures are trending a bit cooler than where they should be, and they'll continue to do that throughout much of the day. And right now you're going, oh, does that mean snow for sure? Well, pump the brakes just a bit. If it were snowing now, it would be snow, or precipitating now, it would be snow with temperatures down in the 20s across much of the inland northwest. But as we scoot through hour by hour by this afternoon, 36, 37 degrees is about as warm as you can get snow. So by this afternoon, it'd be a little bit of a wintry mix. As we scoot into the day tomorrow, it's looking like we'll be a bit warmer. However, there are those cold overnight hours. So as we get into the overnight, expect snow. Could wake up to a couple inches of it here in town. By tomorrow afternoon, that could transition over to rain. And it all depends on the exact track of that storm system, but I'm really thinking we do get a quick blanket of snow before it does transition over to rain. And Joshua, it's all about those temperatures. By tomorrow afternoon, we're knocking on the door of 40 degrees again.
I mean, you said it yourself, bring the cold without the snow, and it's not as enjoyable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're keeping our eyes on your full forecast coming up in just a little bit to find out if we get that answer. All right, we've got 3 things you need to know about the coronavirus in our area as we approach 7:34 this morning. Spokane hospitals say they are ready for a surge of new coronavirus patients. Both Spokane County and Washington State are seeing record-breaking new daily case counts. They're also seeing an increase in hospitalizations, but not at such a dramatic rate.
And this morning, we are checking on the capacity of our local hospitals. Multi-care leaders say Deaconess and Valley hospitals do have room for COVID-19 patients. However, they did not offer a percentage. A Sacred Heart Medical Center leader says they are caring for a high number of COVID patients, but they do have capacity still available. Pullman Regional Hospital leaders say it currently has inpatient capacity as well. However, doctors are preparing for a surge anytime within the next 6 months. And Kootenai health experts are currently caring for 47 COVID patients. That is the highest amount of coronavirus patients in its care since the beginning of the pandemic. 12 of those are in need of critical care.
Whitman County has reported 11 new coronavirus cases and no new deaths. The total number of cases in Whitman County now sits just under 2,000. 5 people are currently hospitalized and all others are self-isolating. According to health officials, 20 people in the county have died from the virus.
7:35 now. Well, it's no secret that the Spokane housing market is hot. Just this year, experts say the cost for homes in Spokane County, get this, increased by 20%. This is from the Spokane Association of Realtors monthly home sales report. Now, in October 2019, last year, now the average home went for $290,000. Fast forward to this year, October 2020, it's $350,000. Experts say it's just a seller's market. It means there are more buyers than available homes. And in October, the report shows only 424 properties for sale.
Well, here on Up with KREM, we want to give you as many resources as we can to keep you informed. And this map from Georgia Tech University shows the likelihood of contracting COVID-19 if someone attends an event. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some scenarios. How likely, for example, would you be to catch COVID-19 if you went to a friend's wedding in Spokane that had 100 people at it? So right now, let's look at that percentage. So what I did here is I adjusted the event size on the far left side. You can see you can change it anywhere from 10 to 5,000 people. And so let's go up to Spokane County. Let's see. Currently, the risk rate is at 76% in Spokane County under those conditions. Now, let's say you want to look at what a large Thanksgiving dinner in Kootenai County could be. So smaller than a wedding size, but still plenty of risk. So I'm going to change the event size here. Let's say you're 15. Let's go to 15. Now, while it's adjusting, I also want to let you know, if you're looking for this tool, I tweeted it out and tweeted out the link earlier on Twitter at J_Robinson TV on Twitter. You can also check the KREM2 Twitter account. But we're going to look again here into Kootenai County. The percentage is 34% on a 15-person event in Kootenai County right now. Now, I also want to give you an idea here. You can look pretty much anywhere around the country right now. Hotspots in California, hotspots in Arizona. You can zoom in anywhere where you might be considering going to be with a group gathering as the holiday season approaches, and you can check yourself to see what that risk is right now. Tim?
All right, Joshua, thanks so much. Good morning from the Up with KREM Election Center. The race for control of the Senate is still on, and it turns out Georgia voters will have the last say.
All eyes in this country are on Georgia.
The showdown of all showdowns in terms of politics and what it means.
Well, neither party is able to lock the majority until the January Senate runoffs in Georgia. There's still plenty happening on Capitol Hill. One of the biggest questions looming is who will take control of the Senate. So right now, Democrats and Republicans are in a near tie, 50 to 48, as you can see here, with Republicans leading by 2 seats. Control of the Senate won't be decided until after the new year, after Republicans won a seat in Alaska. Neither party can lock in the majority until the runoffs in Georgia. Republicans are still short of the 51 seats they need for majority control. So the vice president of the party in power, which on January 20th is projected to be Kamala Harris, is the tiebreaker. She would get to decide. That means if Republicans only have 50 seats, Democrats control the Senate. Republicans would need 51 senators to overcome that. So this morning we are asking you if you think the presidential election winner should be determined by the Electoral College votes or the popular vote. So here's a look at some of the answers we've been receiving all morning. A lot of passionate responses. Some people saying the Electoral College should not even exist, while others saying popular vote for sure. Needs to be a popular vote in my opinion. So it looks like most people weighing in this morning saying that they'd be more in favor of a popular vote. So over on the CW22, we'll be talking about states passing legislation in favor of awarding all of their electoral votes to the popular vote winner, including Washington and Oregon. Again, you can send in your comments, your questions, concerns to 509-448-2000. You might see them here on Up with KREM this morning. Yeah, so a lot of good stuff coming in, you guys.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jen.
I was going to say, Tim, I'm seeing a lot of responses. I feel like that echo that common divide we see here in Washington between Western Washington and Eastern Washington. Right. A lot of people over here saying they just don't feel like their voice or their vote is heard when larger cities tend to dominate elections, at least with election results and the trends. But that's what I'm seeing a lot of people arguing for Electoral College this morning.
I also do like seeing, Jen, there are some people suggesting maybe some sort of blends between these two, maybe just sort of a readjustment of how these votes are sort of totaled up every year. We all want the same thing. We all just want to feel like our vote means something when the election rolls around.
I think that's the one thing we all have in common.
All right. We'll have more coming up a little bit later in the show, so keep texting in. You might have seen this video on social media, though. It shows two men finding a trash bag full of ballots. It's been shared tens of thousands of times. This morning, we hear from the election office in that area.
And this morning, there is a new effort to fight discrimination and ban police chokeholds in Washington. Coming up in our next hour, a Tacoma family is pushing for new legislation after their family member died in police custody.
And it's the calm before the storm. You're looking at snow on the ground. We're talking feet more on the way for some high elevation areas.